The story I'm about to tell you feels like it came out of a movie, but it's real, raw, and heartbreaking, yet filled with hope because of one man's courage, Ibrahim Traoré. The year was 2003. In a small town in Burkina Faso, a man named Issa, a humble farmer and a father of two, was living a simple life. He worked from sunrise to sunset, earning just enough to feed his children and care for his wife. His dream was small, to give his children an education so they wouldn't have to break their backs in the fields the way he did. But one evening, everything changed. A crime shook the town. An influential merchant was killed during a robbery. The community was furious, demanding quick justice, and in the rush, police picked up Issa. Why him? Because he was poor, powerless, and had once argued with that merchant over unfair prices. There was no proof, no witness, but within weeks, Issa was declared guilty. His trial lasted barely 2 hours. He had no proper lawyer, no one to defend him. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. That night, Issa sat in the cold prison cell, staring at the walls, whispering to himself, "I am innocent. One day, truth will come." But days turned into months. Months turned into years. His wife, heartbroken and unable to bear the weight of raising 2 children alone, fell sick. By the 5th year of Issa's imprisonment, she passed away. Issa never got to see her one last time. His children, just 8 and 10 when he was arrested, grew up without him. By the time they were teenagers, they had already stopped hoping their father would ever return. Still, inside the dark, suffocating prison, Issa prayed every night. He never stopped believing in God, never stopped whispering, "One day, justice will come." Fast forward to 2023. By now, Issa had spent 20 long years behind bars for a crime he never committed. His hair had turned gray, his body frail, his hands rough from years of prison labor. He had missed everything: his children's first steps into adulthood, his daughter's wedding, the birth of his first grandchild. He had lost everything except hope. And then, fate brought his story to the attention of Ibrahim Traoré, the young leader of Burkina Faso. One evening, Ibrahim was reviewing old files of prisoners. He had ordered this review because he believed that many innocent people had been wrongfully jailed under corrupt systems. When he came across Issa's file, something didn't sit right. The evidence was almost non-existent. The witnesses had withdrawn. There were no fingerprints, no weapon, nothing. How can a man be imprisoned for 20 years with nothing against him? Ibrahim asked in disbelief. He sent his own legal team to investigate. Within weeks, they uncovered the truth. Issa had been framed, used as a scapegoat to protect the real criminals who had powerful political connections. Ibrahim was furious, but more than that, he was determined to right this wrong. The day came. After 20 years, Issa was called to the prison warden's office. "Issa," the warden said slowly, "you are free to go." For a moment, Issa didn't move. His lips trembled. His eyes widened. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. "Free?" he whispered. When the prison gates opened, the sunlight hit his face. He raised his hands to the sky, tears streaming down. After 20 years of darkness, he was finally free. But the story didn't end there. Most men released after such injustice walk out to nothing, to poverty, loneliness, and despair. But Ibrahim Traoré didn't just free Issa, he met him personally. In a powerful meeting that was broadcast across the nation, Ibrahim embraced Issa like a brother. "You were wronged. Your life was stolen from you. But from today, you will live with dignity." And he kept his word. Ibrahim arranged a home for Issa, provided financial support, and most importantly, reunited him with his children. That reunion was something no words can truly capture. When Issa walked into his son's house, the room went silent. His son, now a grown man with children of his own, froze. His daughter dropped the bowl she was holding. For a few seconds, they just stared, unable to process what was happening. Then, like a dam breaking, tears flooded. His daughter ran and threw her arms around him, crying uncontrollably. "Papa, Papa, I thought you lost me forever." His son fell to his knees, holding his father's hands, unable to speak, just sobbing. Issa held them both tightly, his own tears falling. He whispered, "I never left you.
My heart was always with you." For the first time in 20 years, the family was whole again. Ibrahim Traoré made sure Issa's case was publicly acknowledged. He wanted the people of Burkina Faso to see what injustice looked like and to understand why the system needed change. He said, "Justice delayed is justice denied. No innocent man should ever spend even a day in prison for a crime he did not commit. But this man, he spent 20 years. We must never let this happen again." Issa's story became a symbol of resilience, faith, and justice. Across the nation, people spoke his name with respect. He was no longer just a poor farmer. He was a man who had survived 20 decades of darkness and still walked with his head high. In the evenings, Issa now sits outside his small home, watching his grandchildren play. Sometimes he closes his eyes and listens to their laughter. It's bittersweet. He knows he cannot get back the years he lost, but he is grateful for the time he still has. And whenever neighbors ask him how he survived 20 years of wrongful imprisonment, Issa smiles gently and replies, "With faith, with hope, with the belief that one day truth would win." This story is not just about one man. It's about countless others who suffer silently in prisons across the world, forgotten by society. It's about the importance of leaders who care, leaders like Ibrahim Traoré, who dare to challenge injustice and fight for the voiceless. Issa's story reminds us that no matter how long the night, the sun will rise. No matter how heavy the chains, freedom will come. And that even when the world forgets you, one act of justice can change everything. 20 years of pain, but one moment of justice changed everything. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the world needs to hear stories of truth and hope. And remember, no matter how long the night, the sun will always rise. See you in the next story.